Hello and what's up everybody, welcome back to Screen Technicals. I am Chinmasa and today in this video we are going to be learning about Next.js 13 along with Firebase 9. We will be connecting our Next.js 13 app to our database, that is the Firestore, that is with the Firebase 9, and we will be doing Google authentication using Firebase 9, and at the last we're going to be deploying it on Vercel for free. So if you're new to the channel, then subscribe to the channel, like this video, and let's get started. So open up your terminal, and here we are going to create our next project, right? So I will be creating my next project on this, I can say on this directory. So what I'm going to do right now is npx create dash next dash app, right? And then add that latest, and right here like us give it this dot, right? So this means I'm going to link you say create all the files and folders on the same directory where I am just right now, right? Right. So I hit enter, and like no, I don't want to use TypeScript. No, yes, lint. Yes, we will be using TailwindCSS. Yes, source directory, and then we'll be using the experimental fdir. Hit enter, and we are good to go, right? So give the time to it, and it will just initialize all your project, right? And if you have not like you can say not installed the node, then just install it, right? Install the stable version of node.js, and we can see we are finally like created the configuration, right here ls, and you can see all the files and folders. So we will be using VS Code. So I'm going to use my code editor right here, right, like code space dot, and hit enter. It will open up the VS Code right at this point. And now what I can do is just close this. Now open up your terminal, like use command J, right? It will just open up your terminal, and right here like clear. And nice. Now what I want to do is right here like ls, and you can see all the files and folders. So right here like npm run dev to like start your local server. So click on this, navigate, and it's going to start our local server. And you can see then welcome page of the Next.js 13, right? Now click on this docs. It will just open up the documentation of Next.js 13 beta version, right, that we are like currently using for this project, right? Now go back to the VS Code, and here I'm going to explain you some things. Right now you can find the source folder, right? Inside the source folder we are having our app directory, and inside this directory we have some files and folders, right? Now the first file that we need to like you need to know is the layout.js, and here you're going to find all this configuration, like the impos. So like first let me tell you, like previously we are using the meta tags, that you can say the head tag, but right now we don't need that. We just need to pass like the title and description, just like an object, right? If I want to change the you can say the title, then right here like blog, as we are creating a blog in this point, like in this point, right? And come to this point, you can see it has been changes to blog, right? Nice. Now we are passing the children right at this point. Now what is this children basically is? This children is basically the components that we are passing between the body text, right? Now this is basically like let's say we need a navigation bar, then we can put the navigation bar here so that like it will show on all the pages, right? It is basically the base of our project, right? This is the universal base, right? And basically this part only changes, right? If I want, let's say if I have slash blog page, you can see if I move from one URL to another URL, then at that point the component which are rendered or which have been written in this point will be same on all the pages, but the changes will be shown, like you can say shown, like you can see the changes in the children, right? Let's say if you're on the home page, you can see the home screen, you can say content of the home page, and if you're moving to the blog page, you can see all your blog. So basically everything that the content of your home page and the content of your blog is basically the children, right? And what I want to do is let's say I want to show my navigation bar, or let's say the footer on all the pages, so I can put that at this point. So it will be rendered on all the pages containing you can see the home page, or you can say go to the blog page, everything it will be rendered, right? Now move to the page.js, and this is basically our home page, right? So let's first remove all the content from here, and let's say I'm writing here like div, just like this, hit enter, save it. Now you can see everything, we got a clean page, right? Now we have to create our creativity at this. We have to show our creativity at this point. So what I can do is I can use tail blocks, right, for like quick you can say quick implementation of our front end. So search for like tailwind, basically tailwind, it is I think tail blocks, right? So tail blocks.cc, I think this tailwind is tooltip. Okay, search for tail block, hit enter, and you can find this link, that is this one. Open this, and we need the navigation bar, so search for a navigation bar at this point. Okay, footer, gallery, header. You can see this header, click on this. Now you can choose any one of this, so it's up to you. Whichever thing you want, you can just use it, right? Let's say I am using this link, right? So you can just click on this view code, copy all this code. Simple, right? Now come to this point, go to your VS Code, and we need to create a components directory. So at this point I'm going to create a new folder, component like this, hit enter, and inside this I'm going to create a header.jsx for a file, you can say header.jsx, hit enter, RAFCE, and then inside this thing to paste everything just like this. Save it. Now let's see, go to the tailwind config.js, and here you're going to find this dot slash source src slash component. So just remove this src from here. Okay, because our components directory is like right at this point, right, where the config file is present, right? It is not inside the source folder, right? Close, save everything, come to this point, and I think we have to reload it. Okay, one thing we have to do, that is we have to like import the header on our layout.js. So at this point, here let's take this thing entire, and here I'm going to create you can say I'm going to add my header, right? Like header, import it, and like this, and I'm going to create the div. Inside this div, basically I'm going to put my children just like this. Save it. Come to this point, you can find everything like this, right? Now what I can do is we need everything like in white color, right? So let's see, go to the header.jsx and right here like text dash white, save it, and remove the text gray from here. Okay, remove this from everywhere, this make it like white, save it. Let's see, nice. And where's the button, right? This is the button. This is going to let's make it like log. Okay, save it and make it black just like this. So like inside the square brackets you can pass your like custom colors, right? So just save it and come to this point, and let's see, got this thing. Now what I need is, okay, let's overall this. Okay, so one thing we can do is okay, bg, make the bg of white, the text basically, so right here text dash black, save it. Look, so finally we have, you can say, created our navigation bar. Let's customize our like this thing and all these things, right? So remove this svg file, and then this tail block, make it like our blog. You can name whatever you want, right? I'm writing like blog, and then I want to change all this link. So we're not going to be using like the anchor text right now. We will be using special link text provided by nextjs 13, right? That will help us to like you can say change routes without reloading the page, right? So right here like link, import link, and like close this thing. Right here like home inside this, and then here I'm going to pass the href, which is going to be like slash, just like this. Save it, come to this point, and you can see the home right like this. So make the h capital, save it. Looks nice, right? Now similarly we are going to create multiple routes. So let's say we are going to have our home, then we are going to have our blogs, then let's say we're going to have our like about us page, and then finally we're going to have our contact me page or contact us page, right? Just like this. Save it, come to this point, and we need some spacing between them. So at this point I can give them like some space x of, save it, come to this point, looks nice, or maybe like space x of 5. Okay, looks nice to me, right? Now let's say I'm not putting my effort on the front end part, because my job is to like make you understand about nextjs 13, how it works. Basically it's not a front end tutorial, right? So let's move on. Now it's our home page, and let's say let me now tell you about the image component offered by nextjs 13. Right now we need some images, right? So let's download some images first. Search for like let's say I'm downloading some travel images. So travel images on Splash, just like this. By the way, this is basically a custom open up screen, right, of the Chrome. It is basically built using HTML and CSS only, right, and some part JavaScript, some part of JavaScript. Now let's say click on this, and okay, let's download any of the image. I want like landscape. So let's see, this looks nice, so let's download this one, download for free. Okay, just like that, and then drag and drop to it at this point, and we have the public folder. So inside this public folder I'm going to create a new folder, naming it images, to make it organized, right? So basically like if you want to make anything public, right, let's say like your JSON files or anything, which way you want to make public, right? If you want to access directly, like let's say images and GIFs, videos, whatever you think, right, you can just put them inside the public folder. Rename it to let's say img1.jpg. okay, img1, just like this. Okay, now let's import it. Go to the page.js, and here I'm going to like import this. So right here like I'm going to create a div. So first make this to React JavaScript, so that it will give us the suggestions. Give it a class name of w-full, and then rounded off, and then I need the image element, just like the icon. And then you can and the most important thing, that make sure that you import the image element from next slash, right? Now we have to it takes some parameters like the source src, and it's going to be like slash images slash img1.jpg, just like that. and then you have to pass the alt whatever you want. Let's like img1 I'm letting, let's say like this, and then pass the width of, let's say 500, and height of 500. Save it, come to this point, go to this, and see, reload it, and we're getting everything right. Nice. Now I want to make it like on the full layout, just like that. So what I can do is with this point, give it a class name and w dash full and object fit center, so maybe like object cover would do the magic. Okay, it looks like this. So I can give it a height also, h dash 50 vh, save it, and let's see, it looks like this. So the quality of the image not right. What I can do is say quality 100, give the priority of true, save it, let's see, load the page, and I think the image quality is still low, so there's no problem. What I can do is make it like let's see. Okay, I want to make it like object position to be bottom. Let's see, save it, and let's see, looks like this. Maybe like top, save it. Oh, looks nice. There's no issues with this, right? So you can just write your, it's not a front end tutorial. If you want to like know about front end, like if you want to learn about css, html, all the stuffs, right, you can see my other videos, right? We have created so many beautiful designs, right? Now we need to create some cards at this point. So I'm going to create some cards for our blocks, right? So go tail blocks and let's search for some cards. Okay, you can find these cards, but these are not so much good. You can, if you want, you can just go and copy this. I'm just creating my own cards, right? Come to this point, let's create a card component right here, new file, it as card.jsx rafe, and then import the card in our home page. That is at this point, I'm going to import it, create a div, and then I'm going to import my card just like this, and make sure you import it, right? So right here, like import card from, okay, make it like capital C, from dot slash components slash card, just like that. Save it. Now come to this point. Here you can see this card at this point, right? So one thing I can do at this point is I can give them some pad, right? px-20, let's say. Okay, maybe like 40. Okay, maybe like, save it. Looks nice. Now what I can do is come to the card.jsx and let's add, right? So give it a class name, w dash 300 pixels and h dash 300 pixels for right now. Okay, and then give bg white, save it. Let's see, looks like that. Or we can use a linear gradient design, so like a bg gradient to top right from dash, and just, and looks like that. Looks right. What I can look sec right now, I can make it like rounded off, save it. Looks amazing. I can give them a shadow, shadow color, let's say white, save it. Let's see how it's look. Okay, now what I can hover over this, that will be fine. Now that's not the issue for right. What I can do is we can add some images. So right, like the image just like this, and then import the image from next slash image, just like that, and pass the src, and then like slash images slash mg1.jpg, save it. Okay, and then we have to pass the width and height property to this, and then alt also, alt like img1, and then width of 300 and height of 300, save it. Come to this point and let's see, we're getting the image right now. Give it a p-5, nice, and then give it a m dash. Looks, now what I can do is let's say like this, did md, save it. Looks nice. That I need create another div, this I'm going to pass a title. So let's say it's something like going to be like your title, right? And then I'm going to pass the description, so like here like lorem, just like that. And up to this point, like class name is going to like text dash access, save it. Looks nice to me. You can just remove the height property from this point, so it will just take the automatic height of it, right? Auto height, right? Looks nice to me. And then increase the font size of this title, class name, top bold, and then text dash xl or maybe like 2xl, save it. Okay, looks nice to me. And then I can give it some padding top, so pt dash, let's say 3, save it. Looks nice, right? And then we can make it like whenever I just say, if I click on this, it will just redirect us to the slash, let's say a slash blocks slash 1, or let's say slash 2. So basically I will just it will just open up the view page of this block, right? Okay, so like let's first create some more cards, right? Or let's say add some more cards to this. Come to the page.js and just replicate these things for like that, and save it. And you can see all these cards. So let's add some css to this div, and like flex, justify center, item center, save it. Let's see, looks clean, right? Now what I want is I want to now create the slash blocks page, right? Now let me tell you like about the blocks, right? Slash block page, whatever it is, right? So how can you create routes, right? So let's see. come to your VS Code, and at this point you can find inside, you can see this app directory right here. Like right click and create a new folder and name it as let's say blocks. Like it will be basically the name of your route basically, and inside this thing I'm going to create a new file which is going to be like paste.jsx, just like that right here, RAFCE, and make the P capital, just like that. Save it. Now this is basically your blocks page, right? Like blocks. Save it. Then give it the text will be white, w dash full. Save it. Now you can see it's pretty much simple to create routes in nextjs 13. Previously we are using like file based structure, and now we are using the folder based structure, right? So basically you have to just create a folder and name whatever you want to name it according to your like routes, and then you can just create a page.jsx file inside that, right? Now if you come to this point and let's say I'm writing like slash blocks and hit enter, you can see we can find this block at this point. Amazing, right? Now like let's click on this home page, and you can see I'm on my home page, right? Now go to the header part, and where is that this is the block, right here, like slash blocks. Save it. Come to this point. Now if you click on this, it will just show me the block page, and you can see it is not refreshing the page. Basically you can see this is not reloading, and our navigation bar, that is this header component, is fixed, right? Only the you can say the main content is changing. This is basically the power of Next.js, right? Pretty much very easy, right? Now let's add those cards to the, you can say, to our blocks page, right? So let's go to the home page and let's copy only this div, copy it and then paste it right here. Remove this blocks, hit enter, paste it here, save it. Come to this point, the blocks page, and you're going to see some errors because you have not imported the card. Let's import the card, save it. Come to this point, well, pretty much easy, right? Super simple. And now let's create you can say the view page, right, which is pretty much easy, right? Now inside this app directory, I click and create a new folder and make it like okay, not right here. We're going to create it inside the blocks page because I want the route to be like this slash blocks slash, now you want to pass the ID or whatever things, right? So in this way basically our route will be designed, right? Now right click, create a new folder and write like this, give the square brackets, inside the square brackets write like id.js, not .js, only id, right? Hit enter, and inside this I'm going to create a new file that is going to be like my page.jsx, RAFCE, make the P capital, save it. And now let's write here, I'm writing here like id simply, or maybe like view page, VIEW view page, save it. Come to this point. Now I want to let's say when we click on this nothing happens, so we have to just link it. So go to the car.jsx right here, and then like minimize these things, use the link tag, import it first, and then inside this paste everything, save it, and then write here like href. Let's say for right now I'm writing here like slash 2, save it, and then come to this point. Now we click on this, okay, so it will be like slash block slash 2, right? Blocks slash blocks slash 2, save it. Go back and let's click on this. You can see the view page. Amazing, right? Now on the view page, let's make it like where's that ID? Now we have another thing at this point, is that is the params. So basically this gives us our all the parameters that before we are using the get server side props or the get before we were using the get server side props method to get the contact. Using the context we can just get the ID, but right now it is pretty much simple. You just pass the params and then write like const ID. You destructure the ID just like that, and right here like equals to params dot ID, just like this, simple. And then you can just pass the ID right here. Hit ID, save it, come to this point, and you can see that ID. We have to make it like put it inside the curly brackets, and you should see it. Reload the page and you're not getting it. Let's say make like here like class text white, save it, and we are still not getting it. Now what are going to do wrong with that? Let's see. Remove this right here like p tag, and then right here like ID, and let's log the ID at this point, save it, come to this point, reload it, and right click, inspect console, invalid strike width. Okay, ignore this, there's no like this is basically okay class. I think this error is coming from the header page. So go to this point and then make all the classes this much of thing just like that. Hit command shift L and it will just select all these things. So make it like class name, just like that, save it. Then we have this SVG, just remove this SVG from here, save it, come to this point, load the page, and we are good to go. Right now nothing is displaying. Let's go move to the page.jsx and here we have the ID that we are passing, and we are not getting the ID here. If let's say I'm writing something like this, and it should show me there is okay, they're showing. Now what is going to be wrong with this ID basically? Okay, let's remove this thing, save it. Okay, basically we don't need to destructure it, because we are directly like getting it like from this params, right? So maybe like I can do it like this and save it. Yeah, that's still working. So basically you can just destructure it, or you can just write like basically like const id is equals to params dot id. You can just you can use any one of this. Basically this is basically I'm just destructuring it, and now you can say this is basically I'm just getting it from the params, right? So save it, and it is showing us the id right at this point. Now in this way we can just filter out our blog posts, right? Okay, cool, right? Remove this thing. Okay, now what I want is let's make it some like make it clean, right? Make it like add some like what is it? So now let's add some front end to it, right? So I need the image, so go to the home page and just copy this image, this element entirely. Okay, and then like go to the id page and then paste it right at this point, save it, and then import the image element just like that, and we can see that. Nice. And then I want to show display the title at this point. So after this div I'm going to create another div with an h1, and then I'm going to pass right like the title, and then I'm going to give it a class name of text dash 4xl. Save it. Looks nice to me. Give it like this padding, let's say px of 60, and then py dash 20. Save it. Let's see, coming like that. Looks nice to me. Or make it like 10. Nice, right? So basically I'm just making it on this line, right? And then we can just pass on the date and time and the other things, right? So let's pass the date time. I can do is create the date time, right? So for right now I'm making like static p, and right here like 17/2/23 dash time base, basically 7, let's say 07 something like 24 p.m. save it, just like that. Now what I want is I want the content. So after this right here like p tag, and then like hello ram 200, hit enter, save it, and come to this point. You can see all the contents right at this point. Pretty much easy peasy, right? Now this is basically we have created only the front end part. We have seen about the link tags, images, we have seen about routings, we have understood about layout.js. Now what we can do is we need to create the backend for this, right? Now in nextjs 13 we have our predefined backend system, that is this API. Now here you can create your backend, right? So this is basically one way of doing it. Let's copy this thing, and then I'm going to delete this hello directory, and then at this point, okay, delete this hello, and so create a file. Basically I need to delete this hello. Okay, that has been deleted. Now minimize everything and then open up the API folder, and we have nothing in the inside this, so we need to create a new folder and name it whatever you want. Let's say I want the blog data, so I'm writing like blog data like this, and then inside that thing I want the route.js, right? Like route.js inside this thing. Now this is basically our route, right? Now here you can pass this thing, or you can just pass an object, right? Now if we come to this point, and let's say at this point I think like slash blog data slash something like that, and then okay, it is basically like API slash blog data, hit enter, and you can see hello nextjs. So basically we're going to pass some JSON data at this point like this. So basically like it's going to have some title of, let's say title is writing here like this, and then it will have some date time, or maybe like timestamp like that. Okay, and then it's going to have the time like this something, and then 23 dash something like your time, just like this. And then a description maybe like DSC, and then it's going to have like let's copy the lorem, copy it, paste it here, save it. Okay, so one thing you can do is come to this point, command T, paste it here, command A, command X, command W, come to this point, paste it here, save it. And then another thing it is going to have is the ID. So right here like ID, okay, like that. And so it will be like let's say 1 for right now. Now this is basically the ID and the like that. So this is basically an object, particular object, right? This is basically one object. but I need several objects like just like this. So come to this point and you can just refresh that and you can see the data object, right? Now what we can do is to make it like a display right over there is come to this slide like const data is equals to like this, paste it here, save it, and then pass here the data and reload it. Now to fix this error, what we can do is we can use next response. So right here like next response, it just import the next response and then right here like use the curly brackets and the pass the data like that. So come to this point, reload it, and should give us the data, save it, and this is the way. Reload it again and we are not getting the data again. Okay, so I think the problem is right here, but like I will pass it like JSON next response dot, where to just convert the next response into a JSON, I think. So right here like next response dot JSON, save it, come to this point. Hopefully this should work right now. Yep, we are getting the data for right now, right? You can see the JSON data at this point. Amazing. So pretty much easy than before, right? Just use the next response to like pass the nextjs response, so I can say the JSON data, right? Now in this we can make several blog posts and then we can just get the data. So let's see, let's make 2 blogs for right now and then make it like ID will be 2, title 2, something to 22, something like that. And this is basically our, we have created 2 datas, right? Now what I want to do is right now is go to the page.jsx of the ID page, and here I'm going to get my data, right? So I can create like we don't need to use the get server side props right now because there's like some different methods for that. So we have to use like the fetch function to use the, because in the experimental directory the get server side props has been replaced by the fetch function, right? Like const basically I want to get the data of posting particular post, right? Like post const post equals to a federal function, and then I need to use get the post, right? Like const right here like post data is equals to fetch, and then we need to pass like here like slash API slash blog data, I think, so like blog data, just like that, and this is going to give us the data of our blog, and then we need to return post data dot JSON, just like that, save it. Now let's get the post, right? So I like const post equals to post like that, and then I'm going to pass the ID here and then get the ID from at this point, and then I'm going to pass the particular ID, and then I'm going to make another like for this, because this is going to give us all the blog data, but I want to get a particular data, right? So like this, so I'm going to like use the backticks and remove this thing, use the backticks, and then make it like use the curly brackets and write here ID, use the dollar symbol, just like that. So in this way I'm going to get the particular post. So for that we need to create another, like you can say API. So basically inside this API, what I can do is inside the blog data I can create another folder, and let's name it like basically use the square brackets, I pass the ID, just like that, and I think this should work right here. Like I can do a post request for this, if you know, like that will be my thing easy. Let's try this out. Route okay, route.js, and then I need to create a function, and the function is going to be my post function, just like that, and like this. Or come to this point, let's copy this this entire thing. Where's that? Okay, rename it to route or to route.js, like that. Okay, and then I need the context, right here, like context, maybe this is the syntax. Let's search for it. Like come to this point and let's see how can we get the context. Okay, in the route.js, right? So let's search for like context. Okay, route.js, this one, and then this is the, okay, in this way we can just get the context, right? So just like that. Okay, and there is basically a TypeScript, so I think this is nice. There is the destruction for the basically okay, this is context, so this is basically type context, and this is passing the params. So I think we have to write here like params, just like that. This is going to give us the I guess the context basically. So const id is equals to params dot id, and then I'm going to return the data, or maybe like I'm going to return next response. Let's say next response dot json, and then I'm going to pass success as success. Save it up to this point, and at this point let's write like /2, hit enter, and message success. Great, we are getting it. Now I need the JSON data. But right now you can just create a JSON file, and you can just import the JSON file and then pass each thing. But we're going to be using a CMS, you can say a database, and basically for creating the blocks right in this video. But for right now I want to show you the route. So like basically this API, this backend system, so that's why like I am just copying the data, right? So why is that route.js? So here we have the data. So we can do one thing, right? Let's say I'm creating a JSON file. Let's say make it like create a new folder, make it like live, and then inside this I'm going to create like blog, or maybe like simply data.json, like that, and then I'm going to take all this data from here and then paste it here, right? Just like that, and just remove this thing. There's no need of that. Okay, and then basically command shift L, just like that, command D, and then put everything in double quotes, just like that. I remove this from here and this from here, and remove this, and save it. Basically we have just created a JSON file, and then now I'm going to import that JSON file right here. Import basically data from dot dot backslash dot dot backslash dot dot backslash and dot dot backslash live slash data. I think it is size data. Save it, and then I'm going to pass that data basically. Okay, let's go back and let's see. Yep, we're still getting the block data. Amazing, right? Just copy this line and go to this point, and then just like that, and then we're going to filter out the data, right? So right here like data dot filter, basically I'm going to like const data is equals to data dot filter. Okay, make it like const dot filter. I'm going to filter each and every like data. So like here filter item, and then the condition is item id is equals to id. Save it, and I'm going to log the data here. Save it. Okay, we have closed that thing, I think. Command shift T. Okay, then log the data, just like that. Come to this point, move ahead. Okay, come to this point, open the terminal, and we're not getting it. Let's reload. Okay, we are getting some errors. Okay, and I like right here like dot dot backslash one more time. This should do the magic. Reload it, and it's not working. So this is the data. Okay, so what I can do is, first thing first, I need the data, right? Or maybe like I can write like const post equals to data. Let's say data from data will be from this point. This should work. Okay, right here like dot dot backslash dot dot backslash dot dot backslash dot dot backslash. Okay, live slash data, that should work. And then if I'm just like log post, simply I reload this page, getting success, I'm getting the datas. So what I can do is I can just pass the post, or maybe like data. Okay, if I make this like that, then okay, naming clash was there. So what I can do right now is I need the particular data dot filter each and every item, and then I'm going to like filter out the item.id should be equals to id, right? Just like that. Save it, reload the page, and I should get the particular data. Okay, I'm getting it like that. Let's see, it is 2. Okay, now what's wrong with that is let's see. Okay, the problem was because like this id was, I think, a number, and this is basically a string. That was the problem. So I'm just using the double equals to symbol so that it will not clash on the data type of string and number, right? Pretty much simple. Now What I can do is remove this thing. I can just need to pass the post right at this point, just like that. Save it, reload the page, and I should get the data just like that. Looks nice to me. Now what I can do is come to this point and go to the ID page. So right here, like blocks/2, and cannot access post from initialization, right? So let's see. This is basically post. I think I need this post. I think we need to export that. I think export post, save it, and now let's see. Okay, cannot access this. Like we cannot access this post from here. I think we have to pass it. Okay, basically I'm using this function. So come to the documentation here and let's search for like fetching, and you're going to find this function, async function data, and then I return this thing, and then like you can see this is the basically the syntax of it, and we are using this syntax. Okay, response.json async function, get data from here, and then like just like that. That is nice. Now let's see what is the problem with that. Reload the page again and let's see. Before initialization, okay, we cannot access it before initialization. So okay, maybe like I can use a wait at this point and write here like, so I am chasing function, save it, and the same way we're getting. Let's search for it and paste it here. Access initialization is not JavaScript when you try to have a variable plan now. Nextjs data fetching. Okay, this thing I think we can make it like one thing we can do it for it like we can do for it like let's first log the data, that is post data that we are getting or not, and then just like that, and then like let's call the function here post/2, save it. Okay, post data is not a function, so I think we need to just only pass the post data, save it, reload the page, and okay, promise is pending. Nice. So I can make it like async, yes, y and c sync function, use the await just like that, and let's see, reload the page, and I think we can see it here, command J. Okay, I think I have to add like fetch data from http local host /3002 from here, reload the page, let's see. Okay, so response, we're getting a response basically right here, you can see. Okay, 200 success, that's nice. Okay, getting the post and pile, getting all these things. Okay, save this thing and let's come to this point, reload it, come here, and now let's log the post, reload it, and let's see. We're not getting anything at this point, and nothing at this point. Like, remove this thing. Okay, get data, and then we're passing const get data, and like that. Okay, so load it again, and let's see what it is giving us, like responses like that. Okay, remove these things, reload the page, URL failed to pass the URL from. Okay, that was perfect. Let's come to this point, let's go to the documentation. It's like html.com/ something like that, and this way we can get the data. Response. Okay, now finally we're getting, we're just okay, we have just converted this to get data, and that should work. And and one more thing we can do is like we have to pass like .json that we are previously doing. This time this should work. Come to this point, reload the page, and come to this point, and let's see, and we're getting the data, you can see here. Now the problem was because I think because of the naming conventions, so I cannot use post like that. I can use post, you can see it is like it is not getting that. But if I using it like get data, or maybe like get something, so basically we need to use something like get and then like the name of your whatever name you want, right? And that way it will work, right? If you'll see the documentation, you can find the get artist, like, and then let's see, passing the artist, and then playlists. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. They are using where is that? Okay, let's see, you can see get data. So and then like if you go to the documentation, you can see the get artist sort of thing. So basically I think they're using this type of naming conventions, like it should be starting with get and then whatever name we want, right? Then that will work basically. Now what I need to do is basically I need to pass the data and like display the data at this point. So if I'm getting all the data, so what I can do is uh, basically I'm getting the particular data, and it is an array, right? So right here like post dot like that, and then dot title, save it. There shouldn't be any changes, and we're getting that. So basically post is basically, and there is okay, we're directly getting an object. Inside this object we have an array called post. So basically okay, so it is like post dot post, I think, not here, but let's see. It is basically post and then like that. Okay, so what I can do is like I take dot post just like that, save it, and we are getting our title, right? Nice. And the similar way I'm going to pass the time and content of this. So right here like the timestamp, just like that, timestamp, and we are getting the time, and then I need the content of it. So right here like DSC and then the p tag, save it. Come to this point and we are getting the data. Amazing, right? So in this way, like you can use the APIs. You can just create your own APIs. You can create your API services. You can just get like this. In this we can just get the this is basically the get function, helps you to get the data, but you can also use the post function. Now like let's do the same thing using the post request, right? So what I need to do is just comment, not comment this out, let's comment this out, let's say, right? And then like we just copy only this line, paste it here, and comment it, and let's write here like post. Now we are using the post request, and in this we need the request, and then we need to response, right? So what I want is I need the same things, I need all these things, everything is going to be same. Copy this thing, paste it here, uncomment it, make it post, and then I'm getting the ID, getting the post, everything. Now basically this is a post request, right? So request dot body, so I can just pass the, I don't need the params right here, I need the basically the body, right? So right here like const is going to be like request body request, okay, this is going to be like my, I need the ID from, right? So like ID is going to be request dot body, I think just like that, and this should give us the ID, and we need to pass the ID here. Like so go to this point, come here, okay, and then like we need to do a post request, right? So basically this fetch, and then I need to go for the post request. So copy this thing, comment this thing, and then right here like remove this ID from here, and then right here like and basically we are not going to do it on this route, we can do it some other routes also, because there's no need of using but let's say by default I'm passing something like that because we are using this route right now. For the post request you can create like something like a slash unique post or slash post data, and then you can do the same thing, right? And then at that point you don't need the, like you don't need this, right? Now let's come to this point, and passing like the headers. In the headers I'm going to passing the content type, simply content type application JSON like that, and then I need to pass the body. In the body I'm going to pass I will be passing simply the, I'll give a comma here. In the body I'm going to pass my ID as, okay, ID as ID, save it. They should do the magic, and I'm going to log my post data, save it, come here and get head method, reload the page, and let's see, request with get head method cannot have a body. Okay, we are not, okay, we cannot do the post request from here because this is basically a simple fetch function that is because this is an alternative of the get server side props. So what I can do is I can just copy this much of thing, save it. In this way we're getting the data, but let's go for the post request,
and like that. Post data, and then like here, like I can use I can just log the post data, and then like I'm passing an ID, let's say of one, or like one, let's say, and then post data, save it, and okay, remove it, reload the page. Okay, we have to also specify the methods, like because this was using the this was the problem. Method will be like post, my absolutely like my bad, right? So right here, like post, post, give the comma, save it, come to this point, reload the page, boom, and let's see. Okay, no errors. So basically we're not getting it. Let's see, we're getting it right here, console, and nothing is in the console, right? So let's use the use effect, and let's see use effect, and like that. So like that, and then at this point we need to use the use client so that we can use the use hooks, right? Basically we can use the, for using the hooks we need the use client. We need to make our server like server side client. In this way we can just make your like server to a client, and boom, you can see we are getting the steps of errors. Okay, reload it, and let's see what's happening. Okay, it's coming in loop, so I can, what I can do, because we are using this, so you cannot use the use client. You cannot like use this thing in a use client basically. So let's remove the use client, and because I don't want to use the use client, but I want to use this thing, comment this thing, save it, come here, reload it. Okay, and then like you remove the use effect, and then remove it from here, save it, reload the page. Okay, nice, and let's see. Okay, we're getting the post, but basically this is empty, right? Okay, now let's open up the Rapid API and let's quickly create a post request here. So I want to create a post request on my local host, this one, paste it, localhost slash blog data slash 2, and then in the address is going to be like content type JSON. That is not required, by default that will do. I need the body. Inside the body I need to pass the you can say the JSON data. So it's like basically my ID, and let's just to save it and send the request. 400 not found, and let's see what's going to be wrong with this. So basically, okay, we have to write the API right here, like API slash blog data, send the request, and we're getting the success thing, and we're getting this post just like this. Now move to the route.js ID at this point, and this is a post request. We're getting the we should get the ID from here. So let's see, just log the ID from here, open up this thing, and okay, first go to the Rapid API, send in the request, see undefined. Basically we're not getting the ID, right? So so what's going to be wrong with this? Now what we can do to fix this thing is very much simple. I think in Next.js 13 there is a different way I think of doing this. So what we can do is we can just make it like right here, like ID is structuring the ID just like that, and make it like request dot JSON, and then remove this from here, and then right here like wait, save it, and let's create a request here. In the time I'm just using the Rapid API to create a request, and then passing, you can see the data, the JSON data. So I say send request. Okay, we have to find like in /2 send the data, and I'm getting the post request, right? So it's more simple. We have like this is basically the syntax. We have to use the await request.json, right? And then we can get the ID from here. Now we can just go to this point, and let's say, so we can go to this point, and what we can see at this here is I think this should do the magic. It's not post here too, so it's going to make it like that, and let's pass the data. Reload the page, and let's see what is happening right now, and we're getting our data. That is the first, it is the data. The ID is one that we are passing right here at this point, you can see. So what I can do is I can pass the ID with this, so I can write like ID, save it, come to this point, reload the page, and this time this should show us the two, right? Nice, working. Now we have seen the get request and the post request, that how can we get the data, how can we post a request. So like at this point, you can see we can get the data using get request and also using the post request, right? So in this way this works, right? Now you can, we have finally completed this major part. Now we can just display the blogs on our blog page right at this point. So go to your blogs page and then first copy all these things, get data, because it's the same syntax that we will be using here. So like that, and then paste it here, and then I'm going to use this thing, and then remove the ID from here. We don't need any type of ID, right? And then remove all these things from here, remove this thing, remove simple, right? And then I need the get request, or like maybe the string function, see, and then right here like const blog posts is equals to get data, and inside this just like that, and then make it like await, save it, and let's pass the data here. So basically I can like blog posts, if it exists, and I'm going to write like blog posts dot map each and every post, and then I'm going to return all the, like this, all the posts in the card, just like that. Okay, save it. Else right here like else right here like post, save it. So come to this point, reload the page, and okay, maps in the function. So let's see what will do wrong with this method. So what I can do, come to this point, like log blog posts, save it, come here, reload the page, and then let's see. Okay, we are getting, okay, so basically blog post dot data. So we use this thing, blog posts dot data, just like that, and boom, we're getting two datas. Now we have to display their titles and everything, so we can use the props. You can just pass them as a prop, right? I can entirely pass the post, or you can write like that, right? Like post will be my post, simple, right? And come to the cards page, I need to get the post, just like that, and then I'm going to display everything. So okay, we've not added, I think in the JSON file you can see we don't have any images, so we can add an image field here. Okay, just like that. Okay, and copy this line, paste it here. Right now it is blank, so we'll be like, we're gonna just add your image links, and then you can just get that thing, right? But we are going to use the database, so like we don't need to specify this here. This is only for the demo purpose, right? Now come to this point, and I can get the post, and here you write like a post, right? Post, like the post, and write like post dot title, just like this. Save it, and you can see we're getting this. Reload the page, and this should be fine, right? Nice. And just in a similar way, we're going to pass the content right here, like a post, and post dot description, save it, and nice. And what I can do is I need to pass the ID here, use backticks, just like that, and I'm going to pass the ID. So like dollar curly brackets, and like post, and like post dot ID, simply save it. Come to this point, and let's click on this. So go back to the blocks, click on this, and on this a single time, I think. Reload the page, and let's click on this getting, go back, click on this getting, go back, click on this blocks. Amazing, we are, you, it's working fine, right? Home page. In the similar way, you can just use those plots and display your content on the home page, right? Now we have finally like almost completed everything. Now basically I just given you the basics of nextjs 13.3, right? Now we can use basically database, right? So let's see, let's say I'm going to connect Firebase for authentication, right? For Google authentication we'll be using Firebase, and then once that is done we can, I think, go for sanity maybe. So let's go for that. Let's see. First create the authentication part, then we'll see about the sanity or Firebase, whatever thing we want to use, right? Uh, so let's go for it, and let's create. Go to the Firebase console, and okay, here, and then I'm going to create basically a new project. I'm going to name the project as, let's say, nextjs 13 cute IT. Continue, then like that, and then like create project. This will like basically create my project for me. So this has been finished. Click on this continue, and then click on this build authentication, and then click on this get started. Okay, click on this Google enable, like that, save it, and we are good to go for the authentication part. Nice. Okay, now once this is done, what we can do is like okay, this has been done. Now click on this settings, go to project settings, uh web, like let's name whatever you want, like let's say this is basically nextjs TailwindCSS, just like that, and then it's going to give us the configurations for our Firebase, right? Okay, you can see the configurations. Just copy the configurations from here. Okay, come to this point, and then we need to create let's say in the leave folder, create like a new file, that is firebase.js, and then pasting the configurations like that. Remove all the comments from here. Okay, just like that, save it. Now this is like we are getting our app. Now we need to add the Google Authenticator, that is the Google Authentication Provider. So basically we have to import it first. Import that is our get auth. Okay, get auth, and then our Google provider, Google auth provider from Firebase. So we need to install Firebase, right? So we have Firebase /auth, and then we need to install Firebase for right now. So command J, and then hit the terminal using command, and you like that is the /, and once like npmi firebase and react dash firebase hooks, just like that. Hit enter, and let's see. So give the time to edit this. It will take a while, and then we can move forward, right? So let's come to this point, and like in the meanwhile, let's create you can say the auth. So right, like export, we need to export const auth equals to get auth, and then I have to pass the app, just like that. Okay, this from here, and then I need the Google Authenticator provider. So like export const provider equals to new Google auth provider, and then pass that, just like that. Save it, and then I think okay, and the installation has been done, right? Nice. So I will recommend to restart the server once, just like that. And now come to this point, just refresh the page once. Nice, right? Now let's close this thing and come here. Now we're going to create the sign button right here. So it's going to be pretty much easy. Go to the header page, I think at this point, and then here like const we're going to create a login function. So like login async function, just like that. And then right here await sign with pop-up, sign with pop-up, this one, right? Import it from Firebase auth, and then pass the auth and the provider, just like that. And I think this is like this much of thing you do for the authentication part. Pretty much very easy, right? Now at this point is a button. I feel like on click, maybe on click I want to fire the login function. Save it, come here, and then okay, to use the on click function, I think we have to make it a client function, like client component. So I use client. Save it, come here, and nice. Now click on this login function, and you can see our like Firebase authentication, that is the Google authentication, pops up, and I can like click on my email ID and you can get authenticated. Right now I'm authenticated, but I don't know, like, because the user don't know that if I'm authenticated or not, because it is still login. So we can make it like log out, right? Or we can just display the name of the user. You can customize it however you want to. Like I can just create a profile page for the user. Right now what I can do is at this point I'm going to use the React Firebase hook. So it's like const user, and then like loading, and then I'm going to get use the use, I think it is use auth, I think, right? So use auth, something like that. Let me see. So basically this is a use auth state, and then pass the auth just like that, and we need to import it from React Firebase hook. So it's like import use auth state from React Firebase hooks slash auth, just like that. Save it, come here, and then we're getting the user. So what I can do is if I have the user, so like command F, it's like user, if I have the user, then this or else this, and make it like log out. Save it, come to this point, and you can see the logout option. Now we need to create the logout function. So you can see the logout option at this point. Now we need to create the logout function. So what I can do is I can like const logout async function, just like that, and I can like await this sign out, and then pass the auth. Simply this much of thing you have to do for the logout thing, right? Now let's click on the, now I think we have to like pass the logout also. So I can like logout, save it, and click on the logout. Okay, showing login. Okay, the logout, click on this logout, we are logged out. Now refresh it, you can see we are logged out. Click on this login again, it will pop up, and let's say like click on your email, and we are logged in. Refresh the page, and we'll still be logged in, right? That is amazing. Now you can create your like content pages, like at this point you can create some collections. You can see in the builds folder you can find about the Firestore databases. Okay, and you can create your what's that, basically the blog post right here. So I can create database, you can start with the test mode, and then like that, let's say I will select Mumbai, this one, and then enable it. Now one thing that I will recommend to do is, like, if you're creating a blog, then you can use Sanity for it. But in this tutorial I think I'm going to show you about Sanity. But if you want me to show you about Sanity, and let's create some amazing projects with Sanity, then you can just comment me in the comment section, and I will create basically video for Sanity, right, with Next.js 13, and then we're going to see amazing projects with that, right? Now in this I can create an I'm going to create a collection, naming it as blocks, and then it's going to have auto-generated ID, and then the first thing is title, and then, like, let's say like something like Python, let's say, and then the next field is going to be my image field. Is going to be a basically URL field if it has. So there's no URL field, it's basically it will be a string, and then I'm going to pass basically my image URLs. So let's take a random image. So let's search for Unsplash images, just like that. Click on this thing and search for, let's say, travel, let's say Python language. Hit enter. Okay, orientation, like anything. So let's say let's take this image, open image in new tab, and then I need this URL. Basically command C, come to this point where that Firebase, and then we pass this in here, and then another field is going to be like the description. So let's use the lorem description for this. Then what I can do is go to your data.json and then copy the description part, come to this point. Okay, copy it and then like paste it here. Now we have a title, image, description, and ID, and then we need the timestamp, right? So like add here like timestamps, just like that, and then it will be a date time field. There's this one, timestamp. Okay, current date and time. Okay, just like that, save it, and in this way we can create we can say the collections, right, and the documents basically. So we have one collection called name of blocks, which has name of, so we have one collection which is named as blocks, and we have one document that is basically a post. Now you can create multiple posts. For right now I'm creating only one post. Okay, now what I can do is go to this point, and then we need to create the Firestore configuration. So go to the Firebase.js, and here we need to create the DB, right? So what I can do is basically At this point I will like export const db is equals to my, I think it is get fire store, and then pass the like that is the app basically, and then we need to import it from import get firestore from firebase slash firestore, save it, and then what I can do is uh, I can get this data in my blocks page. So like go to the, let's first close all this data so we don't need this anymore. Okay, close this one, and this page.js. I want to go to the blocks at this point, right? At this point, we are going to use basically get the data. So first comment this thing and then make it a client component because we are going to use the hooks. We use client just like that, and then remove these things. I'm just commenting these things and like const blocks ref is equals to collection. Basically, I will create a collection. I will import the collection from Firestore just like that, and then pass the database and get and then pass the name of your collection, that is blocks in this case, just like that. It will create a reference for our collection, and then we can get then we can just filter it. You can say we can just sort it using a function called query and order by, and display the blocks in a in a sorted manner, which will be sorted on the basis of its timestamp basically. So right here like const q is equals to query, and then import query, and then right here like pass the blocks ref, and then order by, and then we're going to order by the timestamp just like that. Save it, and now I want to get the documents of this query. Now so right here like const I create, so I'm going to create the snapshots for this, right here like log snapshots comma loading, and then I mean like loading one, and then like let's say use collection. I'm going to use the use collection hook, and then pass the queue, and then we need to import it. Import use collection from it will be like react firebase hooks slash firestore, just like that. And then I'm going to like pass this thing here just like that, and it's going to be data, but it's going to be like dot docs, and then I will like make it like dot docs basically, and inside the docs I have the post, and then it's going to be like I'm sending the each and every post, but basically okay. And then I can go to this point where is that card page, and then I can like post dot data dot id, and the similar way I can write like post dot data dot title, and then post dot data dot description. Save it. Okay, now this one save with this page, and then let's see at this point go to the blocks page and reload it, and let's see. Okay, we're not getting anything, so what is wrong with that? Let's see. Let's comment this much apart, save it, come here, load this page, and I think we need to restart the server. Load the page, let's see. Okay, what's wrong with that? Okay, db. Okay, we have to import db first, so we have to import db, and I think now this should work. Reload the page. Okay, now what is wrong with this? Get data. Okay, so what is the get data sort of thing? It has been commented right here, so let's see. It is basically in the blocks page.js is commented. Okay, and like that. That's nice. Let's remove this thing, save it, reload the page. Let's see now. Okay, we use block personal models. Okay, we have link from here. Everything looks fine to me. With the card page, make it a use joint. With that, save it, and then basically Nothing here to display. Let's reload the page. Okay. Manche. Okay, we're getting the error. Const probability blocks. Basic in the page on JS collection. Okay, ordered by everything. So we have imported. Okay, we have imported the ordered by collection. Okay, collection DB blocks. This is correct. I think we have to remove this async from here. Save it. Load the page. Let's see. Yes. So basically we have to just remove that async from there because we are using the client. That's the reason. Now I can paste the things here and then uncomment these things, save it, and boom, we are getting our data. That is the Python, whatever that is, right? Now I want to display the data of it. Like let's say click on this, then this should show me it's basically correct, data, right? So go to the card page, and here I need to pass the ID at this point. So basically this post data.id. So basically don't remove the data. It's basically simply post.id. Save it. Come here, go back, click on this, and we're getting the ID. I'm going to get the ID, and then I'm going to filter at the particular docs. So what I can do is search for Firebase, basically Firebase, get doc, and then like I think this is the page, and let's see, get doc. You can see this thing. This is what we are going to use for right now, right? Come here, and then I need the params. So basically go to the ID page, and then I need the params. So we're getting the ID. So this we will just comment this thing. You make it like use client, just like that. Okay, and then remove the async from here, and then comment these two things, just like that. And then I need the doc, right? So come here and import this, the top here, and we need to create this type of docs, right? So what I can do is basically take these things, and then like const get data, just like that. Then we're using function like this. Just going to take the ID, and then just like that. This into like the blocks, and I'm going to pass the ID, and then like that, and then I'm going to return dot snap dot which I'm going to return the dot snap dot JSON, just like that. Save it, and then I'm going to need the data here. So basically comment these two things, and we use it from here. Save it, and come here. Let's see. Okay, db is not defined. Let's import db. Save it, reload the page. Let's see. One more error. Okay, it's not a function. Let's say remove these things. Okay, save it. Okay, reload it, and let's see. Basically, okay, so okay, we're getting the errors like this post is not defined. Basically, okay, this is the post, right? Now what I can do is use effect, just like that, and then I can write let's say log the post inside this thing, and let's see, load the page, and let's see here, promise is pending. So we need to use the thing, need to make it a missing function. So what I can do is create a function const, like I can make it like here, this as async, save it, and like, I think we cannot use the async in the use effect. So one thing we can do is okay, that is const right here, like const data is equal to sync, and then just like that, and then I need the data. I need to get this data here, right here, like await, and then I can use a use state hook, and then it's going to be my logs basically, and make it like this, or you can make it like an empty array, just like that. And then I want to set it right here, like set blocks. I think just to make it like a string, because I think it returns so simply on object, I think. So what I can do is set like make the post here, and then I can write here like blocks. Let's say reload the page and see post is not defined. Obviously that is not defined, but we should get the data. Okay, so it's basically this should basically return me let's try to like log here the dot snap, save it, reload it, and let's see. Okay, okay, there's some issues with that. So what I can do is just take these things from here, this much of part, remove this thing, and then what I can do is paste it here, remove this thing from here, and then make it like dot snap, and then here I'm basically displaying the thing. So it's comment these things, reload the page, and let's see. Okay, no errors, nice. And okay, let's just start the server so I can just visualize it clearly. Right now reload it again. Okay, okay, we're getting a blank data. Okay, we're getting some warnings, but there is no errors. Nice. Now let's see. I want to see this thing, so we need to call the data function first, save it and reload it, and we're getting it. And I can write like data, right, like a dot data like that, save it, come here, and you can see where I'm getting a lot of data, and like this. So reload it, and we're not getting it. Okay, so one thing we can do is make it like this, and then remove this. Okay, and what I can do is take all these things and write it like if basically this is blocks, if the blocks basically dot length, and let's say if it is not, basically then do this, save it, remove it. Okay, so an infinite loop, that is not good. So basically I want to take this thing, I like log it, paste it, comment this thing, save it, come here, reload it, true, that is basically true. Okay, so I want like blocks dot length, if it is like not equals to 0, then basically I want to do this. Okay, okay, so once this is done, this should set the data, and then like this should be like that. Okay, select like undefined, and then if it is not equals to undefined, false. Nice. So come here, reload, false. Okay, basically initially it's got undefined, then I've set the data, then it should get defined, and then not the length but the blocks. So reload it, and let's see, and then true, we're getting it like this basically. Okay, so it's only once time false, and then other times it's true. Take this thing, paste it here, save it, reload the page, and I need to log this also. Okay, and then done. Okay, I got the issue. So it should be like if it is undefined, then do this thing, otherwise don't do it. Okay, it is undefined, blocks is undefined, then I need to call the data. Okay, basically this function, and then like that, send box of data, it's not working. So I think we can use the set intervals. It is taking some time to set it, right? So set timeout. Basically, it's going to be a callback function, and then data. We call the data function log my blocks. I get them after 1 second. What is that? So reload the data, and okay, and now I will use this brackets. Reload it. Let's see. Okay. I think we need to increase the release to 2 seconds, and reload it, wait for 2 seconds, and okay, got the issue. One thing we can do is just remove these things and those things, save it. Here I can write like if my blocks are not undefined, not equals to undefined, then like return simply. This way, if it's not undefined, then return this. Then reload it, and let's see, and we're not getting the data still now. returning like log and like that. Yeah, let's wait for it. And okay, isn't defined. I'm calling the data. If you like it, it is equals to undefined. Let's say like try to make it blank and start parent reloaded start. Okay. Yeah, reloaded. Okay. So what's length? What length? If it is equals to 0. Okay. Let's dot JSON is dot data. We're getting the data. Now I think it will solve the problem. So what I can do is I can return blocks set blocks to the rest dot data, just like that. Save it. Come here, reload the page. Let's see. Okay, I think this should have done the magic. And then and then this one I want to log the blocks also. So reload the page. I think we're getting the data. So let's see one thing again. Let's pass the data, right? Okay, let's see the data first. And okay, remove this thing from here, save it. Let's see. Okay, nice. Now reload the page, wait for it. Boom, this is working fine. Alright, it's nice. Now what I can do is I need to display all these things. So now the request is going only once. So basically blocks dot length and then log during the logs. Okay. So I'm just using the creating a function to get the data, and then I'm just getting the response and then like passing it like this. Nice. Okay, I don't this. Now what I can do is I can just comment these things. I can write like this is in my blogs. So it should be a single blog post. So change all the blogs to post and make it all blogs. Nice. So and then I'm getting the post. So basically remove this thing. Okay, save it. And I think this is post dot title. Save it. Nice. Remove this much apart. Save it. And see, reload it, and let's see what's wrong with that. We're getting the title, we're getting the timestamps. We can advertise react child. Okay, and comment these things, and let's see. I comment and let's see. I'm getting Python and somewhere else hydration code. Okay, reload it again. I think that is because I'm going to restart the server. That will get fixed. There's not an issue for right now. I don't think so that is going to give us an issue, right? So okay, save it, post dot timestamp basically, and just close these arrows. Once you see console, getting the object description and timestamp. So we have to convert the timestamp into basically into the time. So right here, like what we can do is const time. So I can just set the time also. Probably like what I can do is I can just use another use state snippet, basically my date, and like that. and make it and inside this I'm going to repeat like set date as new date, and then I'm going to pass this dot data, basically data dot it is basically the timestamp, timestamp dot seconds multiplied by 1000 dot to local bit string, like that. Save it. Let's see, and then I want to log this thing also. Log the date. Save it, and let's see. Reload it with killing nanoseconds. Okay, I got the issue with that. I cannot pass the timestamp directly to this thing. Save it. Come here. Load it. Nice. And then here I have my description, images, timestamp. Nice. And then I want to display the date. So let's display the date here. Save it. I'm getting the date. And then pass the date here. Save it. And basically now we are getting everything fine. Now the errors was because of the, as we are passing the timestamp directly, because that was an object and we have to convert into our time, right? Date time, just like that. That is nice. Now we are showing our title, our time, and our description. Now one thing I want to display, there is an image, right? Now what I can do is come to this point and I can pass the image into my post dot image, basically. Save it, and now we should get an error. Yes, we're getting the error. Okay, come on. Okay, nice. And where is that host name? If you paste this host name, copy this host name from here, come to this point, open up the next config.js file, and here after this I like images, and then we need to define some domains. Domains going to an array, and then pass these things. Save it. Now we have to just restart the server, just like that, and it should load everything. Nice. I think now this should work. Reload the page. Let's wait for it. And we are getting the image, and we are getting the title, everything super. And we are also using the login logout authentication credentials, right? So we have finally completed this course. This is basically pretty much very basic course. Now what you can do is you can just create the about page and contact page with yourselves. Let's say I'm just show you the contacts, right? Because I've not shown you that how can you just create you can say data in Firebase from your website, right? So let's create the contact page quickly. Inside the source folder, I'm going to create a new folder. Name is contact, enter new file, page.jsx, RAFCE, and like that. Save it. Now for this one, go to the tail block, search for a form. Let's say we have some forms or not, else we'll create our own forms quickly. Okay, I think we got the form right here. Make the simple form just like that, name in the message. Let's review the code. Review it. Looks like that, nothing. Let's just here, like just copy this thing, copy the clipboard from here, type it on and just paste it here, save it, paste it here, save it, and then what I can do is, okay, we need to do it like this, and just like that, save it. At this point, I put like slash contact. Let's see if we're getting the contacts like that. Nice. Come here. At the top right here, like text will be white. Save it, and like that, then make it white also. Save it. Nice. And you can see these things, right? Now what I can do right now is okay, one thing we can do, come to this point first, and let's see. Okay, we have having some SVGs, right? But there's no need of this SVG, right? Just remove this div from here, basically. Save it, and nice, amazing, right? Now we need to get the fields from here. There is the name, email, and message, but there's no need to get the name and email from here. We can get the name and email from our Google Authenticate, like from the user, right? From the user, basically, like from the authentication part, right? So what I can do is make it a client page, use client like that, and then open up this thing, not this on the header part, on the header, and then take the user from here, this middle part, and then I need the user here, and then import this thing from Firebase hooks, import auth, just like that. Now basically we have the user, and then it will create a message like const create message equals to this function, right, like this. And then what I want to do this is const set docs. Now let's search, like, come to this point, where that this one, and we need to set some docs, right? So search for set doc. Okay, set doc Firebase data doc files too. Okay, I can find this thing, just copy this much of thing, come here and then like paste it and import the set doc, doc db, make a collection name of contacts. Then I need to define their id. The id is going to be like, we need some unique id, so we can use the uuid. So like npmiuuid. Okay, there's uuid, nice. And then like 24, just like that. And then we need to import it, uuid, save it. Now we have some name and this thing, so name is going to be basically user dot display name, just like that. And then I can pass the email is going to be basically user dot email, and the message to pass the message. Now we'll create the message here. Use state message, basically will be blank for right now. And then I can remove two divs. Basically I can remove these two divs from here, save it, and let's come to this point and let's see. Use state to import use state. Let me like import use state, and let's see, reload the page, and you can see these things. Nice, right? Now basically what I can do is I'm going to get the message from that input tag. So basically this is the text area, right? Do this thing like that. Nice. Right here like on change, I want e, get the event, and right here like in set message is going to be e dot target dot target dot value. Save it, just like that. And then the value is going to be our message. Save it. Okay, now basically this is the create message function. Copy this function and apply that on click function. This is the button, and I think this is going to be the form. Make it like form, and then make, okay, I think this is going to be the button div. Okay, make this as div. Let's see. Click on this and this div, right? So this one and this one, make it form. Okay, form, just like that. And then right here like on submit create message, and right here I'm going to pass the event, and then right like e dot prevent default. This is basically going to prevent from loading the page, right? Now this should do the magic, right? Now let's create an alert of right like success. Then save it, come here, let's just write anything like that, and then this button success, come to the Firebase, reload the page, and we should see a collection name of contacts. You can see we got the contacts, and you can see we got the email, name, and message. Pretty much easy, right? I can just change this name, there is button, to like send. So that looks amazing, right? Now we have finally completed you can say creating this thing. Now what you can do is you can just go and create it, and like let's say first now deploy it, right? So if we just push it to the GitHub, so I can like open the GitHub, create a new repository, and the repository name is going to be right now I'm making like nextjs tut, right? YT, right, like that. And then it will be is public, so you can access it. Create the repository, and then we need to like basically do this some of the commands. So basically like the first commit from here, command J and control C, yarn build. So like build, and let's see, this should give a success. Wait for it, and okay, we got the success. So basically like paste this thing, and we have done the okay, we have like git add dash a, and then git commit, and then we have to link this. So copy these two commands and then like paste it here, run it, and let's see, done. Reload the page and we should see our source code. Quite nice. Open up versal.com and here create a new project, and nice, and then like import this project, nice, and click on this deploy. Pretty much easy, right? If you are using nextjs, it's pretty much very easy to deploy your websites on Versa, right? Let's give the time to it, and then we have to learn, go to the Firebase and go to the authentication. Here we're going to find this basically the settings and the domains, authorized domains. Here we have to add another domain, right? And see where is it, let's see, just let's once it gets built, we can just take the domain and copy the domain and paste it here, right? We can paste the domain here in this part. So let's wait for it. Finally it has been deployed successfully. Nice. Now you can see, click on this continue dashboard, and then you can find this thing, open this link. So at this link you can see our app has been deployed. Copy this domain, go to the Firebase and paste it here, click on this add, and done. Come to this point, reload the page and click on this login, and you can see we got the Firebase, that is the authentication. Click on this and we should be logged in. You can see we are logged in right now. Click on this blogs, you can see we are getting the blogs, and then click on this Python and you can see we are getting the image. Amazing. So you can just do some fixes, like you can just replace this image, you can create the about us page, you can make it more creative, right? You can show your creativity. So this was a pretty much very beginner friendly course. So thanks for watching this video, guys. I will see you next time in another video, and comment me if you like it or not, or let's say if you want a video on sanity, right? So thanks, bye.